Hey, I'm Evan. I've been starting and scaling different digital remote businesses over the last 8 years, and I've lived all around the world, from Sri Lanka to Thailand to now in Medellin, Colombia. I've learned a lot over the years, and one thing is how to book a ton of sales calls. So today, that's exactly what we're gonna be diving into. I'm sharing our whole content synergy system, essentially how we're using paid ads and content to book 80 to 100 sales calls every single month. I'm not holding anything back. We're diving into the numbers, how much money we're making, how full the calendar is, and the exact tactics and strategies that we're doing, not a bunch of fluff. So this was originally a paid webinar for clients, but I decided to share it with you guys. So let me know what you think. Let's dive in. Started as a video editing agency. That's kind of been our bread and butter. But as we continue to progress as a company, we want to give as much value as possible. My goal for this is to give you one piece of nugget, one piece of advice that you can take and implement into your business that will help your business grow. Because that's a win-win for both of us. I had my breakthrough about 8 years ago when I was in software sales, closing software sales, working for somebody else in Boston, where I realized if I keep down this route, I'll have a good life, but it's not going to be the life that I dreamed of being an entrepreneur and having my own business. So I essentially quit my job. I broke up with my girlfriend and I bought a course on how to start a digital marketing agency. And then I moved down to Brazil with $10,000 saved up. And I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to learn how to make money online. And that was 8 years ago. And since then, I haven't worked for anybody else. I've kind of figured out a few things of how to make money online and how to create offers and how to drive traffic. And that's kind of gotten us to where we are today, where most of you are Boom & Brands Media clients, which is awesome. And now we have the video editing service where we're editing 4,000 videos a month now. I started this agency 2.5 years ago. So, there's a lot of lessons that came in all of the businesses before this, all of the failures, and still to this day, there's new lessons every day, every week that I'm learning. So the goal of this is just to share some of that knowledge with you guys, right? If I can kind of get you a couple steps ahead so you don't have to, fall on your face as hard as I did, that's a win for me. Today, what we're going to be looking at is essentially the system that I've built, which allows us to book 80 sales calls every single month. So this it's a little bit complex. But it's simple in the same way. And there's multiple parts to it. Today, we're going to be focusing on the meta ads and the organic content part of it. But we have other channels. Cold email, we have some referral partnerships in place. We're ranking for some things in SEO, but by far the biggest driver is the meta ads combined with the organic content, specifically on Instagram. So that's really what we're going to be focused on. Before I dive all into that, I'm just going to give you a kind of high level overview of what the journey of our clients look like. The journey that a lot of you guys took from when you first found out about Boom & Brands Media to when you became a client and what that looks like. So, and we're going to go into more of this in detail, but kind of just a high level overview. We have the traffic, these different channels going into an opt-in page where we will capture that information. It's usually name, email, phone number, which then becomes a lead. And when they become a lead, they essentially get sent to a VSL, which is where we talk more about the offer. There's a video of me pre-beard 2 years ago. I've got a baby face there. Everybody's super surprised when they get on a call with me. They're like, hey, you're that guy in that video. Yeah, it changed a little bit since then. There's probably about half the people that schedule a call from there. The other half, they get directed to a booking sequence where it's essentially an automated follow-up in Go High Level with texts, emails, just trying to offer value, trying to get them to schedule a call. And I also have a setter. So her name's Angel. She's based in South Africa. She's going and she's calling the leads as well. She's calling the leads and manually contacting the leads as well. And then, it's it's pretty impressive sometimes, like how many times you need to reach out to somebody. Like, just like you guys are super busy. We're doing a million things. We probably opted into multiple different things. So that time that like you're calling somebody and you don't expect them to pick up, but they do pick up out of chance, like that's the time that you book them. And sometimes it takes 7, 8, 9 plus calls to get there. But there becomes a point when it just doesn't really make sense anymore. And like the opportunity cost of like putting that effort towards new leads rather than the leads that you've already called 10 times and sent 5, 6, 7 messages to, that it's not worth it. So then we put them in a long-term nurture. When they do book the call, they get sent to a thank you page. We're gonna go into more detail of this. They get hit with a pre-call sequence, and then they either show up and they get closed, or they don't get closed, they put in the long-term nurture, or there's a downsell. And if they don't show up to that call, there's a no-show rebooking sequence to essentially try to get them to rebook. So that's the general overview. There's a whole thing on fulfillment, onboarding, all of that. We'll save that for another mastermind. I really just want to kind of dive in and give you guys like the high-level overview of this. So that's the general funnel. There's different details that go with that. Coming into the bulk of what we're talking about today, the content synergy system. It's simple. It's ads plus content equals synergy. So doing each of these individually, this can kind of give you some results, but doing them in tandem, 1 plus, that's supposed to be 1, equals 3, synergy. So with the ads, like you can get in front of your target audience. If the Facebook algorithm wants to put you in front of the people that are gonna convert with you, and then when you bring them into that ecosystem, when you bring them onto your Instagram page, onto your Facebook page, YouTube, whatever it is, that's when the conversion process happens. That's when you can build trust with them, nurture them with value, testimonials, storytelling, and then essentially convert them into becoming a lead. It's pretty amazing how many people come to like visit the profiles and kind of see you without you even knowing that they're looking at you. Like we're getting something, it's not that much, but we're getting something like 30,000 like impressions or like profile visits on our Instagram every single month. We're not getting 30,000 leads. So then it's like, how can we figure out how to convert more of those people? And it took me a little while to figure this out. So like I said, we've had this agency for 2.5 years. The first year, 2023, I was kind of figuring it out. You can look at my Instagram back then. Full disclosure, I rebranded this Instagram from my last agency, which was a real estate video marketing agency. So we already had like 500 and something followers. So this didn't start all from Boom and Brands Media. But you can see here, like this is the basics. This is the bare minimum. We've got no highlights, 6 videos, nothing really going on here. And it showed. I mean, the first year of business, I guess the first full year of business, we did like 291,000. And this was ads only. We weren't doing any content at the time. Fast forward to 2024, when I started implementing the ads plus the content, this is what the profile looks like now. This is essentially the landing page where most people that view an ad, they don't book directly from the ad. They'll come and kind of make sure this person's legit. You kind of want to see, is this call that I'm going to schedule going to be worth my time? Or is this person just like has 5 followers and just threw up like a random ad? So as you can see, like, we have highlights covering different things, looks more legit. We've got a full-time designer, social media person on now. And it works. So last year we did $810,000, which is a pretty big jump up from the year before. So this stuff works, guys. I just want to, we're starting this off just showing you a little bit about the details. This was my calendar on February on the 17th. All of these are new discovery calls. So this stuff works, guys. Again, in the individual styles, ads, good, content, good, combined, synergy. That's when you start really getting the results. So what it comes down to, we're not going to go super in depth of like how to set up ads and all this stuff, but I want to give you like a general strategy that we've used to get these results. And it's a 3-step strategy. So it's the offer, making sure you have an irresistible offer that's good for cold traffic. It is the ads plus the content, who to target, how to set up the ads, and then it's the conversion, converting that traffic that you're gaining through the ads, through the content, into clients. To dive into the offer. So this has got kind of like crazy in the digital marketing space. Like, I don't know if you guys get hit with these ads, but feels like everybody is trying to one up each other. One person's like, we guarantee we'll get you 10 clients in the next 2 months or your money back. And then the next person is like, we guarantee we'll get you 20 clients in the next months or your money back and $5,000. This stuff, like, it's kind of annoying, but it works. Like, I would love to, and I'm trying to kind of get away from these like big promises, but it works. So some key things that I've found for the offers, like, be specific, clearly state what you're delivering. For us, it's like videos. For you, it might be clients, it might be results, it might be whatever. And then a time frame as well. Getting 10 clients in a year is much different than getting 10 clients in 2 months. And also, like, tell them like how much of their effort is going to be involved. Is it 2 hours a month? Is it 5 hours a month? Stuff like that. For context, something that had a pivotal change in my business was changing our leading offer. So we have a 2-week money back satisfaction guarantee for the editing. Like, we'll have people come on board, we'll edit videos for them for 2 weeks. And then at the end of those, if they're unsatisfied, they just let us know and we give them a full refund. We wanted to take that up a notch. Like, that wasn't really resonating with people as much. So I thought, okay, what is our most popular package and how many videos can they get in those 2 weeks? And what I determined was, our most popular package is X, and we can get about 20 short form videos in those 2 weeks. So I changed the offer to, we'll edit 20 videos in 14 days and guarantee you'll be completely satisfied or you don't pay. Do you see how there's a difference there from the 2-week money back satisfaction guarantee? It's like, what are they going to get in those 2 weeks? What are going to be the deliverables? Like, it's a little harder. We want to kind of be led towards the outcome of what we're going to get with working with this business. And these are just like a couple examples of some of the image ads that we're running now. 20 videos, 14 days, guaranteed satisfaction, or you don't pay. So the next part of this is like diving into some of the strategy around ads. So first off, what we want to do is define who are we going to be targeting. And I've tried all sorts of different things. What I've found is that the Facebook algorithm has gotten very, very good at putting you in front of the people. They're super motivated for you to get success, to have success running ads on their platform, because that means your business scales. That means you have a positive ROI with them. And then they're going to go ahead and get more money. If you have a positive ROI, you're going to keep using them. You're not going to go and try TikTok ads or YouTube ads or LinkedIn ads. So they have some black box that nobody really knows how they do it. They've spent billions of dollars on their algorithm, figuring out how they can pair supply with demand. People that are good fits for your service with your service. So essentially the two audiences that I've found that work, the first one is just being super broad and just literally letting Facebook do its thing. So, US based, wherever your target market is, and then just some sort of a broad like age, 25 to 55. That's kind of, we found those are the range of people that we work with. But it's always good to this is something you want to test as well. Like, you don't want to go all into just one target market. It's super, super good to test. Maybe it's broad, and then maybe it is putting some more like demographic parameters in there or maybe it's testing it against the lookalike audience. So the lookalike audience is essentially taking some sort of a list from people that you know will buy your product and then uploading that to Facebook. And then Facebook is going to look at this list and try to pair you with those people or people that are similar to that. So what we did is we went and we took all people that have become, like, their emails, their names, everything of people that have become clients, and also people who have scheduled demos with us. And we uploaded that to Facebook. And then you can set different parameters of asking Facebook to make a lookalike audience based on 1% lookalike, 2% lookalike, 3% lookalike, 4% lookalike. So that's essentially their variability of being like, we're gonna find people that are like 6% like lookalike to this people. Now, when it comes to creating your assets, especially if you're just starting off, there's no need to recreate the wheel. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone and I've thought about the best ad copy, the best ad angle possible, spent all this time filming, editing, all of that just to like post the ad, just to publish the ad, and then it absolutely flops. Nobody converts. The whole name of the game, of this creative game, is testing as many creatives as possible and then letting the algorithm do the work. And it's honestly like, it's really hard to think about super fresh new angles and ideas, especially if you're just starting off. So I always think like, let's not recreate the wheel. Let's look at what's currently working, and then we can use what's working to tailor that to us and to create our own strategy with our own messaging and all of that. So that's why there's an amazing free thing called Facebook Ads Library. So what we can do is come to Facebook Ads Library. So you can come to Facebook Ads Library, put in your competitor, and essentially see all of the ads that they're running. So what we want to do is look at ads usually at least like 3 months old, because some of these newer ads, like March 5th, March 6th, these guys uploaded these yesterday. We don't know if they're converting for them. We can make the hypothesis that if people have been putting ad spend behind ads that are more than 3 months old, that they're getting a positive ROI from them and they're converting. There's not enough data even for them behind these ads that just got started March 5th. So why don't we go down and start looking at, we have February 26th, still super late. But even these guys are a good example. Like, look at how many ads that they're testing now. They just uploaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ads, 10 different ads in March alone in the last 6 days. So they're putting a bunch of ads out there, and they're kind of letting Facebook algorithm do its thing now and see what ads are getting the most conversion. What ads are getting the lowest cost per click? What ads are getting the lowest cost per meeting? All of that. And then after a week, 2 weeks, depending on the testing period, they're going to turn off the ads that are not converting as good. And Facebook, depending on how you set your budget up, Facebook will do a pretty good job of like going in there and just not giving budget. Okay, so not sure when they started running ads, but you can see the earliest ad is from February 6th. So again, that's not like the best data set, because, you can say if they've been running it for a month, then it could be good. So this could be something, but I always like trying to find things that have been going for at least like 2 months, 3 months plus, because that those ads are absolutely ripping for them. And then what you're essentially going to do is get the transcript of the ad. So it's kind of manual. I have my EA do this, but she essentially comes in here and screen records and then watches the ad. Maybe if it's a talking head one.
3 ways restaurant owners are hitting $100K per week in revenue. 1, they hired Dynaline, who guarantees.
So I'll have her do this. I'll have her share the link to the ad, make a spreadsheet, share the link to the ad, record the ad, get the transcript of the ad, say like when it was last uploaded, So then I can go in there and start doing the magic. There's also a really cool tool. So then you can use something like Fireflies or ChatGPT, even does it now, to after you have the recording of the video, you can get the transcript from that. So then you have what works for them. So then essentially after you have the transcript, then it's time to repurpose that. It's time to make it your own. And I'm sure you guys are very adept with AI for now. You know, you're probably using ChatGPT, Claude for some way or another. But what I've found for any sort of copywriting, any sort of ad copy, anything like that, Claude.ai is going to be your best friend. When it comes to offers, prompting, business questions, I found that like ChatGPT is better for that. And there's just like, Claude has a really cool feature where you can create projects. So you can essentially create a project where you teach Claude everything about your business. Exactly. It's kind of like a GPT for ChatGPT, where you teach them everything about your business. Maybe you have like a brand guideline document. Maybe you can upload your VSL transcript, all these other things. So it knows about you. It knows about your voice, your preferences, all of that. And then you can use ChatGPT to go and help with the prompting for Claude. So if you want help with ad copy, you can essentially go to ChatGPT and ask them for the help prompting Claude, where you can ask for, you define your product, service, target audience, what kind of like brand voice do you want to use? Who do you want your voice to sound like? Is it Alex Hormozy or who might it be? And then ChatGPT will do a really good job of making super clear directions that Claude can use to help you create the ad copy. And maybe it's something where like, hey, like take this current working ad copy and infuse it with my voice, with my brand, with my vision. And then you can essentially upload the transcripts that we got before into your own personal Claude GPT. You're kind of like copywriting assistant. And then they're going to take what's working for the client, spin it around, infuse it for yourself, and then spit you out with some proven ad copy. You always have to go in there. And tweak some things, make it yourself. But it does a really, really good job at like giving you a good baseline that you can then go in there and with your knowledge about your business and about the industry, you can use that to change it. So then it comes down to testing, optimizing, and tracking. And I'll be honest, for the first while that I was running ads and even having a business, I wasn't the best at tracking things. And I can't tell you how, especially for ads, because you are spending, if you think about it, every person that views your ad, every person that clicks your ad, every person that schedules with you, you're spending money for that. So it's super, super important to track that, to be able to see how that money is like, is that profitable for you? Is that money turning into other money, essentially? And also testing things. You want to be testing different variables, whether you're testing the target audience, the creatives, the video creatives, image creatives. If you have one video, if you make a video, say it's a talking heads video, I always try to make like 5 hooks, 1 or 2 bodies, and then a couple call to actions. And with that, you can spin that up into a ton of different ads. And then that allows you to go and to test those ads. You film once, and then you're able to test 15, 20 ads and see what works the best in the same shoot. And then being able to make those ROI decisions. You can see what ads are actually converting to meetings. And then the next step of that is what ads are actually converting to clients. So there's 2 great tools for that, which I'm gonna add here. One is Segmetrics, and the other is HighRose. So this is, after you're spending over $3,000 a month in ad spend, this is when these tools become super, super important. This allows you to give attribution to what clients are coming from what specific ads, which is super, super important. So it's really hard to tell that story if you don't have these kind of software. Maybe there's ads that are creating a lot of meetings that people are booking meetings from, but they're not actually turning into clients. And maybe there's one ad that only, books a few meetings, but every single one of those people turn into clients. So the ROI of like increasing ad spend is going to be a lot more important. So obviously you're going to want to like put a lot more money into the ads that are turning ROI. So this is some examples from us. Looking at February, we spent $4,868,000 in ads. The cash that was collected, we're a month-to-month service. So we essentially we're monthly. This is MRR, monthly recurring revenue. The cash collected in month one in February was $17,857. We have our average client length, and I took out a couple outliers because my second client ever, he's still with us 2.5 years. So I took him out in another long-term client, which brought down our average monthly length. But we want to see what is the return on that ad spend, which is called the ROAS here. So we can see the ROAS for month one on this 17,000 was 3.67. So that tells me that these ads are super, super profitable, especially even in month one. So essentially, for every dollar that I put into ads, I get $3.67 back. That's a profitable ad. And then if you look at the lifetime value ROAS, which is if we expect these clients to stick with us for 6 months, this times 6 is $109,000 that these clients are going to bring to the business. And essentially the ROAS on the lifetime value is 22.55, which is awesome. You can scale a business with a 2 ROAS. Obviously the higher the better, but in terms of profitability, if you put $1 in to get $2 out, you can scale that way. The content piece of it, I don't have as much built out for this yet. But essentially, you just want to be consistent, guys. If you're spending money on ads, people are going to go to your page and they want to see that you're an active business, especially if you're another agency. It's super important that we practice what we preach. If we're selling, I know we have agencies, coaches, we have different businesses in here, but I'm going to talk to some of the agencies because that's what I am. If I'm selling video editing, a client's going to come to my page and expect to see examples of our video editing, expect to see that we're active with the page as well. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, posting different tips, insights, tricks, behind the scenes, whatever it is, just something to show that you're active. I don't think that our content is crazy. It's pretty basic, to be honest, but it's something. It's something. It shows that we're trying. The highlights are a great way to do Q&A for people and to do objection handling before they even get on a call with you. So you see here, we have our services, we have client testimonials, we have our portfolio, and we have FAQ. Some of the 2 most common pushbacks I was getting on sales calls is one was can we see your portfolio? What kind of work do you do? Or 2 is do you have any examples of other clients that you've worked with? So now I try to give that as much as possible, as many times as possible before they even get on a call with me. So the first time that I can see that is on our Instagram page now. And then stories are great. Stories are great when you can kind of connect with people. We're always sharing, just about every time a client is happy, whether they leave us a good review in Frame, a good review in our editing portal, I'll have my project managers take a screenshot of that and then upload that to a folder. So we have hundreds of different mini testimonials of clients saying, yo, I love this edit. This edit's so fire. Great job. And we can kind of trickle those out and kind of post those on social media as needed. So we're at the final part here. The last part of this is the conversion. So essentially, how can we get people from cold traffic to knowing a little bit about our business, to becoming a lead, to becoming a meeting, to becoming a client? There's a lot of steps that need to be going the way, right? You think of it like a funnel. There's a lot of traffic up here, and each step along the way, people need to be led along the way and have a way to get there. So The first step of our funnel is the opt-in page here. Instead of sending them directly to the video sales letter, we send them to an opt-in first. And there's two thoughts about this. The first is like, well, if you send them to the VSL, like maybe they'll be more likely to book. There's not as many times they need to fill out their information. Yes, that's very true. But if you send them to an opt-in first, then you know they're interested. This is the time that they're the most interested in your service because they just saw an ad, they just checked out your Instagram. You send them to an opt-in with their offer and you ask for their name, email, and phone number. After they give you that, they get sent to the VSL. It's kind of like the reward for giving you that information. Remember, not everybody that comes to the VSL books. If we sent the cold traffic directly to the VSL, there would only be like a small fraction of people that booked. Now, because we know they're interested, we have their information, we can then follow up with them if they don't schedule after they go to the VSL. So that's where our like Facebook pop-up sequence comes in. It's essentially a booking sequence of calls, text, emails to try to share some more value, get them to schedule. And again, I have my setter. She knows as soon as a lead comes in, she should be calling them. The faster that you can get to a lead, the more likely they are to book. I don't know about you guys, but I talk to people that are like, yeah, I've filled out like 10 forms and I've got a bunch of calls with different people. Like, you want to try to get to these people first when you're top of mind. And then they go to the VSL like 2 years ago, two and a half years ago, I created this. We are redoing our website now. So I've got like an actual design agency doing it finally, but this is kind of what got us to where we are today. Again, offer, VSL, it's a 2-minute and 37-second VSL, talking to the audience, talking to the pain points, super, super basic, just trying to get people to book a call with us, talking about some of the pain points, different testimonials from other clients, client examples, some example videos. It's super simple. A VSL isn't really meant to distract people. It's supposed to give them exactly what they need to do the next step. And the next step isn't purchase from you. The next step is to book a call with you so you can close them on the call. So any other things are just distracting at this point. And then they go to the confirmation page where, again, we're trying to like pre-sell them. So the confirmation page is where they can, again, see our testimonials, see our portfolio. Even if you like send people all this stuff, like chances are that they're not going to look at it the first time. So trying to give them as many opportunities to look at these things, super, super important. There's still a lot of people that come to the call and they haven't looked at the portfolio or the testimonials. And then they have the pre-call sequence. So again, this is just like, it's a combination of reminding them about the call as well as giving them more value and kind of trying to pre-sell them a little bit. Now, like diving into converting again, the IG conversion tactics is the new follower funnel. So I don't know about you guys, but every single day we get new followers. So even in the last 18 hours, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 followers. These are all people that are interested in your service at some way or another. So we want to try to start conversations with them. So I have my EA manually send messages to every single new follower that we have. And it's super simple. It can probably be better, but it's hey there, or hey first name if we know it. Thanks for the follow. Hope you're having an amazing day. Just curious, what are any specific challenges you're having in terms of video editing? And then that just starts off the conversation. And then my appointment setter is there. This is connected to our Go High level, our DMs. So she can see everybody that responds and she kind of takes the conversation from there. And then after that, what we want to do is like essentially new follower, send message. Did they respond? Yes. Let's try to qualify the lead. Awesome. What kind of videos are you editing? How many videos do you need to edit a month? How are you currently editing? Are they qualified? Yes. Schedule a call or even sell in the DM. We've closed some deals where I've never even had to hop on a call with them. They're pretty much, we gave them as much information as they needed in the DM and they're like, hey, let's get to it. Send me the order form, which is pretty cool. Not qualified, no. We can end them They follow us now, so maybe down the line we can convert them through a story when they are qualified. And then the next is ManyChat. So essentially, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what ManyChat is. You can use ManyChat for general questions, pricing questions, lead magnets. Whenever somebody asks for pricing on one of our ads, we automatically send them an email, send them a ManyChat. They'll get a message from us, and that'll kind of start the sequence. You can't see this too well now, but it kind of starts the sequence of like, hey, like, yeah, happy to send over this, like, boom, boom, boom. So there's a lot of steps here. I know it can probably seem pretty overwhelming, seem like a lot of work. It does. You don't have to do it all at once. There's steps to do it. And depending on where you're at in your business, I would definitely suggest trying to build out a team to help you with this. And it doesn't have to be like a crazy team. It doesn't have to be crazy expensive. I think the key hires for this are as follows. Like, the business development representative to follow up with the leads and to talk in the DMs. My setter she's from South Africa. I pay her $1,000 base salary plus 3% of all the deals closed. And I don't know about you guys, but like, it seems like a little bit to us, but depending on the country, like that, it's a very, very good and livable wage. I live down here in Medellin, Colombia. I've been living down here for 2.5 years. Doctors down here, some doctors make $1,200 a month full time. So it's crazy to think about that, but the living wages are super different in different parts of the country. So you can find really, really talented people for a little. My executive assistant, she's kind of like the implementer. She knows Go High Level. She knows how to, I can do the strategy. I can put things together, and then she can go and implement things. I pay her $11 an hour. She's from the Philippines, and that's a lot. That's a lot for the Philippines. Video editors, you can find a wide variety of video editing. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys are our clients. $1,000 to $3,000 a month, depending on your needs. And that's kind of the system, guys. Like, super high level overview. There's a lot of details that we can go into each step along the way, but hopefully you guys are able to like take some sort of something away from this. Like, hopefully I was able to share some sort of value that can help you guys like grow your business, get some more info from it. How much of your budget goes into ads percentage wise? Like, it's hard to say. Like, I don't know if I have a percentage really, but I think it's just like, at first it's what you're comfortable spending, because there is always a testing period. Usually the first week, couple weeks, the ads aren't profitable. And then there's always a chance that they're not going to be profitable. So you have to start with like money that you're okay with losing. That's not going to just like absolutely wreck you. And then after you start seeing the positive ROI, then you can like really say, all right, if I put this much in, I'll get this much out, and you can kind of scale from there. What platform are you using to push your landing page, VSL, something like Go High Level? Yep, you got it. We're big Go High Level users. I've been using Go High Level since my last agency. If you are curious about Go High Level, like, I would suggest using some sort of a snapshot, what they call, where it's essentially people that have gone in there and built out sequences for, follow-ups, landing pages, all of that, and then kind of using that to start things off, because there's a lot that you can do with it. A lot that you can do with it. Yeah, great question. So there's a couple ways to do guarantees. One is just like a guarantee, like unlimited guarantee no matter what. We kind of started that way. Like, we literally had this 2-week money back satisfaction guarantee, and there was no stipulations about it. And it was still like pretty rare, but it happened sometimes where people would either take advantage of the guarantee or just like not like give us an honest shot, an honest chance. If people don't upload videos for us, that's not giving us an honest chance. If people like don't do the onboarding call, that's not an honest chance. So over time, we put like little stipulations in place that allow us to set us up for the best success to deliver for them. And like, one of those stipulations is that they have to do the onboarding call. We have to actually teach them how to use our system, introduce them to Laura, our director of customer success. And another one is like they have to upload videos with us, because essentially when somebody becomes a client, we dedicate, an editor, a project manager to that account. And like I'm paying for that editor and that project manager. So if they're not like uploading videos, then like that time is like getting wasted and I'm losing money. So a couple little stipulations like that. I saw this one offer for this kind of like coaching offer, whereas like this coaching like content offer where it's like, we guarantee that you'll have 10 million views in the first year of working with us. But then it's like, but you have to post 300 videos, you have to come to one coaching call a week, and there's these stipulations. So it's usually like the crazier the offer, the more stipulations. I don't really like that. So I think it's good to find like kind of a happy medium where people don't feel like they're getting bait and switched, because that's not the last thing that you want. That's a good question. I think just like testing creatives, just like testing copy, like you have to test offers. You have to test different offers. I don't know, you can either test different offers like organically or have some sort of a small like ad budget to test offers, and also like get feedback from friends, family, like clients, stuff like that. Like what offer like most resonates with you? Like what do you think that you would convert with? I think, obviously with friends and family, and then like your organic following is the least expensive way to test. But then like once you have an ad strategy, you can dedicate some of those ad dollars to be testing different offers. I think in the beginning, finding kind of like a low cost, like low risk agency to kind of help you, direct you to set things up, I think that could save you a bit of time and headaches. But honestly, after you kind of learn like how they set things up, maybe you work with them for like a couple months, you could probably take that in-house. Just depends on the budget that you have, really. Some agencies are super expensive. Others you can find much less expensive agencies, so it depends. But if you can afford it, it could definitely make sense to work with an agency first. Thank you so much for coming. Hope everybody has a super productive, amazing day, and let's get some more, let's scale.